You serve as the humanist chaplain at Harvard University and at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, as you kind of mentioned by your location there. And I guess those are the kinds of institutions that are kind of worth leaving New York for if you got to go. Um,
I mean, the way I like to say it is, I'm a humanist chaplain, so I'm a non-religious religious advisor, sort of a contradiction in terms, or walking contradiction, whatever. I've been doing that work for 20 years. It's a wonderful career. There's always something problematic going on and something interesting happening. But I like to say that I came here because I found out about humanism after majoring in religion 20 plus years ago, and felt that humanism, the positive ethics for the non-religious, was the most underrated or underappreciated idea of the 20th century. And I thought, well, why not go to Harvard? That's the most over. Well, anyway, I'll leave it right there.
Okay, well, it resonates with me, this idea, because I remember when I started my PhD in England, I wrote an email to the British Humanist Society, I think.
Hmm.
I said something like, I could probably even dig up literally email because I think I just got a Gmail account for the first time. That was like 2007. And so it's probably like one of the first emails I sent with my still current email account. And I sent an email to the British Humanist Society and I said, lot religions have weekly meetings. They have communities like the priesthood, nuns that allow people to have this sense of community.
Mm.
And as I actually, you know what? I probably never said this on air, but I'm atheist, or I'm not. I don't practice any religions.
Is that going to get this podcast episode censored?
I don't. And I so I said, I grew up in the Catholic Church,
Mm.
and I miss that community. And so I wrote a message saying, is there anything kind of equivalent where secular people can go and meet and talk about, like you're saying, like kind of religious questions, but approached non-religiously. So just, what are we doing here anyway?
And what did they
And
say? Did they write back to you?
they did, and it was they kind of brushed me off, but I was surprised that they wrote back. It was a
What
really
year
nice.
was this?
It was, yeah, 2007, I'm pretty sure.
2007. Well, so 2.5 years later, I was there on my first book tour for my book, Good Without God: What a Billion Non-Religious People Do Believe, which spends a good 60 pages at the end arguing for exactly what you just described. And I was there to visit them for my book tour, and we talked all about it. And there has been quite a bit more of that sort of activity in the UK since than there had been to that point. So you were a little ahead of your time, John, just a little.
Alright. Anyway, so something that, this idea, what you do for a living, I think it serves a great function, and you're kind of the person, I could imagine if I was at Harvard or MIT and grappling with existential issues, you would be obviously the kind of person to be seeking counsel and guidance from. So cool that you're doing what you're doing.
Well, I mean, thanks. I guess what I would say is that there is a real need for non-religious people to find meaning and purpose, and connection as well. This is a very isolating and often lonely period in history,
Mhm.
particularly in sort of Western wealthy societies. People are feeling very isolated and lonely, and um, it's it's fun. It's meaningful to me. It's something that I really love to help people think about how to live a more connected, more purposeful life from a completely secular, atheistic, non-religious perspective.